When the nitrate film first arrived at George Eastman House, our first priority was to inspect it, open all the cans, be very gentle with the reels obviously, and see what we actually had and what sort of condition it was in. When examining the film, we're typically looking for things like shrinkage, damaged splices, we're looking for damage to the edges, are there full of holes, are there rips, are there tears. We're also looking for signs of decomposition. Nitrate film from that era, the late 1930s, if not kept in the proper conditions, could have been in very bad shape.
It was extremely exciting. This is basically, I think, a dream project to any preservationist. And I'm a huge fan of Orson Welles, so this is a total dream to me.
In any kind of film archives history, when they come across something that is thought to be lost, let alone a film by a legendary director. So finding this film in and of itself was a miracle, and then to be able to have the privilege of examining, restoring, and preserving this work at George Eastman House, it's a dream come true for a preservationist, for a curator, for an institution, and for anyone who loves cinema. Once we had inspected and written up extensive notes about the condition of the film as it was found when it arrived at George Eastman House, the next step was to begin the actual photochemical preservation. And for that, we turned to a lab called Cinema Arts, who are world famous for the quality of their black and white photochemical preservation and restoration. We hand carried the film to the laboratory and supervised the transfer of the film onto a brand new negative, and from there onto a brand new positive print. Ensured that the color correction and the quality was of the finest quality, and then those elements were brought back to George Eastman House, where they were stitched in with digitally created titles and into the print that you're going to see sometime this fall.
I was actually finding, I think I find the touch of Orson Welles, the close-ups, the editing, the angle, even the makeup. There are a couple of shots where you see heavy makeup, and that makes me think a lot of later or earlier films of Orson Welles. So one of the reels was actually in much worse condition than the others. We don't know why, but the film was very brittle. It was showing signs of decomposition, and so it could actually not be handled. So for preservation work, we sent it to a European laboratory, Angefin Digital, and they took care of rehydrating the film. So the film was very brittle, but thanks to this special chemical process, it was possible to actually work on it and print it without causing further damage.